If you are fed up with going it alone on your health journey and you are struggling, you're generally not feeling your best self but are ready to get optimized, why not book a free wellness discovery call with me, a naturopathic nutritionist and functional health coach, where I'll help you understand the root causes of your issues and guide you in the right direction of which of my programs would be best suited for you, whether that be a group program or one-to-one coaching. The link to book your free call is in the show notes. So I'm joined with the amazing Pip, who has been one of our clients for the last 7 months or 8 months now.
8 now, yeah.
8 months. Oh my goodness. And watching your journey, Pip, from where you were 8 months ago to now is mind blowing. Like, you're the reason we do what we do. So yeah, just wanted to hop on with you and for you to share a little bit about your journey, because I know it'll inspire many, many other women who are probably feeling like you felt 8 months ago. So before we started working together 8 months ago, like, how were your symptoms? The fatigue, the gut, the mood, like how you felt about your body? What was day-to-day life like for you, and how was it impacting you?
So I would say since COVID, my health took a dramatic decline. I had an underactive thyroid since I was 11, but the last 5 years were definitely the worst. It definitely took a turn. And I was going back and forth to the doctors, asking for thyroid blood tests and asking for more medication. I was already on 150 micrograms of medication. And going back and back and back and back in tears, saying that I can't cope with the demands of life. Um, my symptom score when I first started with you guys was 177. I remember that.
Mm.
And so that was like bloating, headaches, fatigue. So something that I just discovered in my wardrobe recently was I used to have maternity pants.
Mm.
Because I was only size 10, but I had maternity trousers because I used to get so bloated and I
Mm.
just was sick of never wearing jeans. I always wore like stretchy, and I was like, God, I just want a pair of jeans that fit again. So I had these maternity pants.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I couldn't do my job and keep on top of house chores and keep on top of social plans. I always needed, if I did something one day, I needed the next day to rest.
Yeah, yeah.
It just wasn't a good quality of life. I just couldn't do what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and you were diagnosed with endo as well, weren't you? So it was
Yeah.
Hashimotos, we discovered, and endometriosis, which often come hand in hand with each other.
Yeah, yeah, definitely had both.
Mm.
Uh, the endometriosis came to light about 10 years ago, and I used to be in so much pain. Just picture a woman in labor.
Mm.
That's what I looked like. Was covered head to toe in sweat. I was in so much pain. I was just sweating. And I remember if I was on my own, which I often was when it happened in the house, I'd have to crawl down the stairs to find some painkillers. I couldn't even stand. Went to the doctors and I explained what my periods are like. I said, I feel like I'm going to die. And just said, oh, yeah, that's period pain. That was the
That's normal.
first doctor's appointment that I had. And then I had to fight for 7 years. And I mean, fight.
Mm.
I realized it was endometriosis because I
Wow.
didn't know for years.
Yeah. And then when they did discover it was endometriosis, what was their advice? What were the steps?
They recommended early putting me into medically induced menopause.
Hmm.
And I straight away, I am a very kind of like to do things the natural way as much as possible. I straight away did not like the sound of that. And I said, well, I don't know if I want to have kids. And they said, oh, we'll just bring you back out of it and then put you back in.
Simple. Simples. Of course, that's just easy to do.
Yeah, I don't want to do that two or three
Yeah.
times. Once is
Wow.
enough, I've
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless they're working with you, of course.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that was one of my options. And then I remember when I had the laparoscopy surgery, I had to essentially threaten to sue them to get them to do it.
Wow.
Because this, I asked for a second opinion and they still denied me.
Mm.
Uh, and I just got quite aggressive about it. And then they did. And then afterwards they said, oh, we found endometrial tissue. And I was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, yeah. So and it was just okay. That's your prognosis. I probably put you on the marina coil, discharged.
Yeah. And that was
I had
that.
no idea still for years after that my diet affected it. No.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it's like that combination of the immune system, which had been driving so many issues below the surface since you were 11 years old, but had just
Mm,
been medicated, which doesn't fix the actual immune system. Then later
mm,
down the line, it's no wonder that you ended up where you were, where the immune system is just constantly dysregulated. And then, that's why these things
Okay.
often go hand in hand. So obviously chronic health issues can take a real toll on your life behind closed doors. How would you
Mm.
say your symptoms were affecting your relationships with your partner, your friends, just day-to-day life?
Um, I just kept having to take rest days
Mm,
from things, and I also did some studying. So I did a master's degree, and then I studied for some really hard exams after that. And because I was studying, that was all I could manage.
mm,
Because I was studying and working at the same time, and I just kept having to decline plans. And on the weekends, I just needed to rest, and it definitely affected the quality of our relationship and what we could do together.
yeah.
Um, Partner was very, very patient, to be fair, and did accept a lot of the time that I needed rest days.
Hmm.
But I can imagine it can be hard because it's one of those things you can't see chronic illness. I
Yeah.
mean, when you look at my before pictures, you can.
Yeah, but at the
but
time,
but
people are like, you look fine.
but you can't see it. And
Yeah.
a lot of the time, I would just put on a smile and carry on, even
Mm,
though I felt like absolute
yeah.
rubbish. And because I just didn't want to let people down. But then the more I pushed myself and the more stressed I was about it, the worse I was getting as well.
Yeah, for sure. I can relate to that 100%. That was me. It was always like, I'm fine, everything's fine, because I didn't want to be the burden on everyone all the time and be the person that constantly cancelled plans and everything. But it was
Mm,
like, oh, the feelings down inside of like how you actually feel. And you're like,
mm,
oh, having to drag yourself to things again that just you haven't got the energy to do is, oh,
yeah.
it's terrible, terrible.
I think I had a lot of shame
Yeah.
about how I felt and how I looked,
Yeah.
the weight I'd put on, and yeah, it was hard.
Yeah, for sure. And what would you say was that last straw moment where you were like, right, enough is enough. I cannot do this anymore. Something has to change.
My relationship was very affected,
Hmm.
to the point where we were questioning if things could work, and
Yeah.
I knew it was because of my health,
Yeah.
and also when I went to the doctors, the last time I went to the doctors, and I really broke down in tears. And I said, I don't know if I've got inflammatory bowel disease. I don't know if I've got perimenopause. I don't know if I've got mast cell activation syndrome. I was just so constantly stressed and had constant health anxiety. And I was constantly searching for answers, and everything sort of sounded like me.
Yeah.
And when I went to the doctors and broke down in tears, and the response I got was just the standard, we'll do some blood tests. And then the blood tests came back and they were like, normal, no action.
Yeah.
Um, and I just thought, there's no follow up then. Well, okay, these are all normal, but you're obviously suffering. So let's do some deeper root cause investigation.
Mm,
That was never going to happen. And I thought like they'd really take me seriously this time, and they didn't.
yeah.
And that was when I'd been following your Instagram posts for a long time, and I knew that as soon as I'd finished studying, I was going to contact you, and I did.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, I'm in. Go. Let's do this. And what would
Yeah, I
you
was
say
like, I'm
felt
ready.
different about the approach that we've used with you compared to everything else you tried so far?
Our consultation call, it was 45 minutes.
Mhm.
I felt more seen, heard, and validated and understood, and like there was hope and solutions in 45 minutes with you than I had decades of going to the doctors. That's just made me really emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really hard, if you've got chronic illness, it's a really hard way to live, to know that there are solutions out there, but you don't know what they are. And the doctors who are supposed to be the people that help aren't helping you find them either. They
Yeah.
don't have the time, resources, funding, whatever. Um, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the most, like you said, it's the most challenging thing because there's answers, but you're like, I just need the people that can put the pieces of the puzzle in the right place. And that
Mm.
moment when you find the people that can is just like you let go and you're like, oh my goodness, the relief
Yeah.
that
Oh,
someone knows what to do here is the best feeling. And that in itself is is the start of a healing journey. I remember that moment for myself when I was just like, finally, someone knows what's going on that can fix this
Yeah.
for me. And I don't have to sit and figure it all out anymore and try and
Yeah.
find all the answers. Someone's just going to tell me like how to do it and what I need to do. And I just need to be a really good student, which you were
Yeah.
an A
Oh, thank
plus
you.
student, like
Oh,
literally
thank you.
followed everything to a T. So fast forward to today, what would you say has changed in your life? Like what can you do now, like easily feel joyful about that you couldn't do 8 months ago, when you were at your lowest point?
Oh my God, so much. Um, the energy I've got now is priceless. I used to have anxiety about my energy levels, and I
Hmm.
used to live off these like energy electrolyte drinks.
Yeah,
I used to be genuinely anxious if I ran out and I didn't have any, or if I was going on a trip and I forgot to take them because I'd worry that I wouldn't have enough energy for the things I wanted to do, and then
yeah.
I'd let people down. So just not having to worry about that anymore is amazing. And I haven't had caffeine for 8 months now, so it's not because it's not
Real
caffeine,
energy from your body.
actual energy that my body is producing.
Love it.
Um, oh my gosh, I did a lot of work on my emotional relationship with food.
Yeah,
I don't have an emotional relationship with food anymore in the sense that when you stick into a plan, you have to learn to, when you're stressed or sad, you can't just reach for comfort foods,
yeah,
and you have to learn to do it in other ways. And now I just see food as a fuel source, really now, not as a emotional regulation tool.
yeah,
And now I would watch Instagram posts of people saying this and think, oh, get out. But I genuinely prefer the healthy food now.
yeah, yeah.
Honestly, if I have something naughty, if I have something like a takeaway, I just find it stodgy and greasy and
Hmm.
heavy, and I don't like it and I don't finish it. And I think, well, that wasn't a treat
Yeah,
at all. Didn't
yeah,
enjoy it. It was bad for me, and why did I do that?
yeah.
But now I do love my healthy food.
Amazing, amazing. And if you could speak directly to another woman who is right now where you were 8 months ago, feeling exhausted, inflamed, looking in the mirror and doesn't recognize themselves anymore, maybe struggling with endo or Hashimoto's, and just basically feels like she's lost herself, what would you tell her about what is possible over the other side if they are willing to commit and invest in themselves?
Um, it sounds really simple, but you can change.
Mm,
You can change. Because I was stuck in that chronic illness sort of shame, emotional relationship with food place for 5 years.
mm,
I kept trying on my own because I am generally a healthy person. I know what to do. I kept trying on my own and kept trying on my own, and nothing worked.
yeah,
Exercising wasn't good because it just made me feel worse. It was probably a strain on my immune system because we hadn't done the immune system work yet.
yeah,
Everything I did on my own, I was failing, and I really felt like, well, this is just me now. And it was a really miserable prospect.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I really believed it in my heart. Like, this is just me now. This is just my life. And but here I am on 50 micrograms of thyroxine instead of 150, 3 stones lighter, just doing things I want to do and not worrying about having the energy. It's just such a better quality of life.
yeah, yeah.
Please do it.
Amazing. Yeah.
Please
And
just do it.
uh, it, you are the reason we do what we do. So thank you so much for
Oh, thank
sharing all of
you.
that because it
Thank you.
it it gets me as well, and it reminds me of where I was when I was feeling like you felt at the beginning as well, and just that feeling of like hopelessness and just feeling lost, to then going to that feeling of hope and then coming out the other side and looking at the journey and realizing that actually what's led you to who you are today was everything that you've been through, and that puts you in such good stead for helping other people in the best capacity that you can as well. So thank you so much, Pip.
Oh,
I'm
you're welcome.
so honored that we got to be a part of this journey with you and to support you. So thank you.
It was honestly not a chore. It was a privilege to work with you and be on this journey.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.